What's up, guys? The YouTube plaque that I've been working towards for the past 7 years finally came in. We just hit 100,000 subscribers, and I just quickly want to thank every single one of you guys that have been part of this journey. And I wanted to do an unboxing, kind of talk about my journey, and hopefully inspire one or two of you guys to kind of, keep going, especially if you're in, a similar situation or you're trying to do something similar. So, let's get into it. Let's do a quick unboxing. I'm super happy, guys. Like, honestly, this is such a huge achievement. Not because we hit 100,000 subscribers, but I think it's mainly because it's the person you become to be able to acquire those 100,000 subscribers. And if you don't know what I mean, I'm going to go ahead and put my very first ever YouTube blog. It's super cringe. I apologize, but it's kind of like a humiliation ritual that we all have to go through when we're barely starting. Yo, what up, guys? Name's Miguel. I'm the owner of this 1999 Mitsubishi Eclipse here. That was a version of Miguel that was quite young, and I'm very proud of him because he did something that was out of his comfort zone, something that it was risky, because at the end of the day, you just don't know if you're going to ever grow on a social media platform. But once you start doing it so consistently, you end up developing these skills that you need to kind of, be able to be behind the camera, record your stuff and stuff like that, right? So quick unboxing. I'm super happy. Let's see what this looks like. And yeah, man, I'm super proud of myself, because at the end of the day, you do have to toot your own horn sometimes. And this is one of those moments where I'm just like, damn, dude, like, it's amazing, because 7 years, man, this was much harder than my college degrees that I got in college. Honestly, if I wish I could have started earlier instead of going to college, but that's a whole different topic. But yeah, this is what the unboxing looks like for you guys. So huge shout out to YouTube for doing this. This is the only social media platform that I think does that to you. I'm gonna show you guys real quick. This is so sick, guys. Like, the fact that YouTube does this for, their creators, it's such an amazing feeling, because they recognize that making content isn't easy. It's actually really difficult, and it's a full-time job in itself. So I'm gonna go ahead and read it to you guys real quick, just so you guys know what it kind of says. YouTube, do you remember your first subscriber, your 100th, or your 1,000th subscriber? Chances are you do, and we know that you'll definitely remember your 100,000th subscriber. Your fans may have found you while searching YouTube, learned about you through a friend, or you maybe showed up as a recommended video. No matter how they came to your channel, your audience stayed, and their numbers increased because of you and the community you've built. We're proud to honor your impressive milestone of reaching 100,000 subscribers with your Silver Creator Award program. Congratulations. There's actually multiple. You could get like a gold one for 1 million, and I think there's a platinum one for like 10 million, which is insane. So we know that you have many more stories to share with your community, and we know your fans can't wait for you to amaze them even more with your commitment and creativity. So keep creating, keep building. We can't wait to see what you'll do next, and we're here to support you along the way. And who knows, when you will reach your 1,000,000th subscriber, we may just write to you and ask, do you remember your 100th subscriber? Yours sincerely, Neil Mohan, which is the YouTube CEO. It's honestly such a nice feeling, guys. Like, not because we reached 100,000, but because of the person I became to be able to get this award. It's not easy. I think YouTube is the most difficult platform to grow on. But once you get to this point, you recognize your efforts and your work, and it's just crazy. Look at this thing, man. Amazing. On the bottom right there, it says, presented to Miguel DSM for passing 100,000 subscribers. I'm going to go ahead and hang this on my room. So amazing. So, yeah, let's kind of talk about, like, any advice I could kind of give you guys and tell you guys in regards to how I grew to 100,000 subscribers on YouTube, or just in other social media platforms as well, because I'm also at 100 on Instagram, TikTok, and I just started posting on Facebook. I think we're like at 33, and I'll be the first to tell you guys, like, numbers do not matter. I know people with 5,000 subscribers that have better content with people with 1 million, so it really comes down to just authenticity. And I think authenticity is a word that is thrown around a lot, and quite frankly, I didn't really understand it through time until pretty recently. So what does being authentic mean, and how can you relate that to your content? I think being authentic is realizing that you are enough. You don't require the external validation of others to feel like you can make your content yours. And what I mean by that is you're gonna have your own style of filming, own style of editing, own style of talking to the camera. You're going to have insecurities. Everyone has insecurities. Everyone has like their quirks and stuff like that. And being able to kind of put yourself out there and do it consistently is going to develop that kind of like that muscle for you to be able to just post consistently and be able to post yourself in an authentic manner. So I already posted my first video. Was it authentic? Quite frankly, no. I was scared as shit to post online. I didn't know how to use a camera. I didn't know what to film. I just wanted to document the Mitsubishi Eclipse that I was building at the time, right? So I had a dream. I had a vision, and no one believed in me. I was basically about to graduate college, and I didn't really know what I wanted to do with my life. I was like, I don't really want to work for someone else. I kind of want to, you know, always keep this creative side to me because I've always loved, you know, just the cars, and I started really getting like the love and the hobby for camera and filmmaking. So it's something that I grew passionate over the last couple years because I realized that you can really shoot some really cool and creative stuff with a camera. So I'll be the first to tell you guys, you don't need any fancy equipment. You can literally film on your phone. It's the context of the content that's going to make the difference. My first couple of videos were shot like on a Canon G7X Mark II, which was like not even 4K. It was like 1080p, but it was just me kind of filming, me hanging out with my buddies. And, you know, they were coming over, helping me with the car. We would just go to, you know, we would call it DSM headquarters, which we had like a bunch of Eclipses. We would hang out together. And I would just film everything and post it to the internet. And, you know, I was nervous because we had a very small following. Like I said, no one really believed in me. I had my buddies that were very helpful at the time. I'm very grateful for them because without them, it would have been even harder to start for me. So I got very lucky. I had really good friends, and, you know, they were there on the journey for me, even though they didn't really know if it was going to work or not, right? They were just there because it was just an authentic friendship, right? So one thing I must tell you guys, especially as you grow, is that you do have to be wary and careful with people and companies in regards to wanting to not just work with you, but just how people will treat you based off your social media following. And that's a whole nother topic that we can get into. But quite frankly, it's kind of sad that society uses this as kind of like a hierarchy, right? So most creators won't tell you this, but for some reason, like if a creator has 1 million followers or subscribers and you go out to public and the fan meets them, they're going to put them up on the pedestal. So one thing you guys must do as a creator is to be grounded and humble at all times. Just because you have 100,000 subscribers, just because you have 1 million, just because you have whatever amount, does not make you better than anyone else. What it does make you better at is being able to make content, post it online, which is a skill in itself. Most people think making content is easy. Most people think doing all this is just like it's cake, and, you know, their regular jobs are way harder. But at the end of the day, they don't understand the mental bandwidth and the fact that you're thinking about these things 24/7, right? What content to make, what to do, the money issues that come out of building cars. So for me, it's like I was always just basically filming what I basically had, right? So I was going to college, I had a part-time job, and I started working full-time, and I was basically using, you know, a lot of my money to build my cars, and I was just simply recording everything, right? So one thing I must tell you guys is a lot of people fall into this mistake is they go into debt to keep it going. A lot of creators won't tell you this. They will go into debt to build the cars. They're building the cars for the wrong reason. They're building the car because they want the clout. They're building the cars because they want to grow a following, which I understand because we all do it. But the way I build my cars and the way I've done it is all my cars have a story behind it. There's always a reason as to why I want to build them. I've wanted these cars since I was little, and I'm not looking for the brand new Supra or the brand new G80 or whatever, all the BMWs, and doing the same cookie cutter builds online just to appeal to a bigger audience. My cars are very niche. I'm mainly focused on Mitsubishi. And at the end of the day, I think I'm still gonna be building Mitsubishis no matter at what point of my life I'm at, right? I don't plan on selling these cars unless I really have to. And quite frankly, I think you should build an audience based off what you like, what you have, and what your means are at. Like, you gotta work with what you have. You might not have all the money in the world. I've been there. You might not have the coolest cars on the block. I have literally the most underrated JDM legend out of all of them. No one likes the 3000 GTs for some reason. Everyone prefers the R34. It's kind of funny because I went to SEMA. There were so many R34 GTRs that they lose their essence. They don't have the same effect on me as they once did when they were like, you know, they were kind of desired because they were the new kid on the block, right? Not a single 3000 GT in SEMA. Why am I building a car that's complex to work on that no one really likes? Because it's different, because I like it, because I love Mitsubishi, and I understand that the 3000 GT VR4 is a very special car nonetheless. At the end of the day, what I'm trying to tell you guys here is work with what you got. I started with a Mitsubishi Eclipse. It wasn't even popular back in like 2018, and quite frankly, I don't even think they're still popular today. But I literally grew a following out of that because people saw the authenticity that came from that. I'm not here for clout. I'm not here for the following. At the end of the day, if I stay at 100,000 subscribers, that's fine, because the way I see content now is just based off, I'm simply documenting my life based on what I can do. I'm not going to overextend myself, overspend, and put myself in financial duress or stress and all that just to keep up, and because that's performative, and a lot of people are doing that, and that's a whole nother topic too. I feel like the content creator space in the automotive niche is also very competitive and fake. Let me know if you guys want me to make a video on that. But it's make sure you're not performing for others, which I feel like social media in 2025, it's gotten to that point. So people seek to relate to you. They seek to be able to say like, hey, he has the same car as me. He went through the same issues as me. He installed that mod. I went through that same problem on that control arm. I went through that same problem when his car wasn't starting. Like, let me type a comment or something. Like, that's what people want. People want you to show the ups, the downs, the boring stuff, everything. I literally document as much as I can because I understand that there's people out there that are having very similar lives to me. The only difference is that I'm trying to make something out of it through content, because at the end of the day, guys, the opportunities, the things, the people, the doors that have opened for me just because of this is insane. It's insane. And I'm not better than anyone else. I'm not saying any of that. At the end of the day, the opportunities that you do by putting yourself out there versus not, it's just, there's so many more pros to that, honestly, which is why I advise you guys to keep going. I know it's difficult. I know it's competitive. I know it's really hard. But if you stay true to you and you keep doing it, at least one video a week, that's what I did. I posted one video a week. You will grow. So I want you guys to look at this. I worked 7 years just to get this little thing. But at the end of the day, this doesn't really matter. It's just a piece of aluminum. What matters is the Miguel that I became throughout these 7 years that I've been able to document. A lot of you guys have been around for a while, and I've seen a version of myself that maybe wasn't as developed as I am now, right? Always try to be self-aware. Always work on yourself. Give yourself self-love. I think authenticity comes naturally when you love yourself. And what does that mean? I think that means being able to be in solitude, being able to trust God that He's going to, work everything out for you guys. Self-love in regards to working on your body. Self-love in regards to working on your mind. Self-love in regards to working on the food you're eating. Self-love in regards to the people that you're around, the environment you're in. I don't want to be in an environment where it's fake or that is not true to me. If I don't vibe with you, then I don't vibe with you, and that's okay. To each their own. But I'm not going to fake a friendship or fake something just because they also have a following, or just because, I'm trying to get something out of them, right? So the moment I sense someone is just seeking to gain something out of me, I cut them off immediately. And that's something that you should be aware of, especially as you grow, is that people and companies will try to, get stuff out of you, or just try to use you as a social media outlet to promote their stuff. So I've been done dirty by companies before. I've been done dirty by people before. And I think I'm just a much more aware person. I'm much more comfortable with just being able to walk away. And it's something that you're going to have to work on yourself as well. So again, just at the end of the day, consistency is the name of the game. The type of content doesn't really matter as long as it stays related to somewhat of a niche. If you're in the automotive, then post yourself going to car meets, post yourself working on your friend's car, post yourself adding modifications to your car when you can. It doesn't have to be forced. Do not build a car for clout. Do not build a car just for the sake of content. Build a car because you were going to build it even if the camera wasn't in your face. That's very important, because at the end of the day, I see that a lot. And yeah, they might have more followers or they might blow up, but at the end of the day, they're going to feel hollow and they're going to feel empty inside, because at the end of the day, it's just Was it really fun? Because you were being performative, you were building for others. At the end of the day, when you build something with passion, when you build something that's not popular, when you build something that like I said, you were gonna build even without social media, is when it just comes naturally and authentically and people can read that. So yeah guys, I know this video isn't gonna get too many views, but I just kind of wanted to put it out there to kind of hopefully inspire one or two of you guys to, you know, work on yourself, you know, journal, meditate, go to the gym, just be self-introspective. Realize that you're not perfect, realize that we all have insecurities and things we have to work on, and just work on them consistently. But also have YouTube as part of your lifestyle, where you're thinking about what video you're going to film that week to be able to post onto the internet. It's slow, it's painful. It took me 7 years to get to this point, but I want you guys to use this video and me as kind of like a checkpoint. It's like, hey, I've gone through what you want to go through. You'll get there, but don't stop posting. I haven't stopped posting in the last 7 years, and it's been difficult. It's been hard. There's been weeks where it's been really hard, but you have to have it in you. You have to have that discipline. I do consider myself very disciplined. I go to the gym, I box. I try to do everything in my possibilities to be able to become a better version of myself, and I think that shows, because at the end of the day, I've also realized that my content has gotten better, my filmmaking skills have gotten better, and it's just something that takes time and experience to get you to that other side. So that's kind of what I learned. Be true to yourself, love yourself. Don't seek the external validation from others. That'll come naturally at some point. And even when that comes to you, you're not gonna want it, because sometimes, like I do love my peace. I do love my solitude, and having the amount of messages and emails and everything coming to me all at once can get very overstimulating at times. And I tend to just disconnect, and I almost feel like I'm pushing people away, or I feel like a bad person. But at the end of the day, I need to take care of myself. So I'm very excited for what's to come. This is just the start, guys. Like at this point, I just feel just way more confident with it. At this point, I'm just gonna keep growing. I'm gonna keep doing things, and I'm very excited to where this could end up. So besides that, I'll let you guys go here. Any questions, comments, concerns, leave them down in the comment section below. Subscribe if you haven't, if you're new here, and expect more content on the Mitsubishis. See ya.